Good afternoon, good evening, all the Who Dats around the world. It's yours truly, Who Dat Davis, and y'all know how we do it over here. If you don't know, then you're going to know. We bleed black and gold until we are dead gold. Let's get it. Let's go. We have a lot to talk about tonight, including this final injury report for the Saints. Who is Sean Payton going to start for this team come Sunday? What kind of weapons and options do either quarterbacks provide for the Saints offense? Can the Saints defense step up again against the Atlanta Falcons? And final predictions, injuries, all the good stuff, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do, if you haven't done so already, I'm going to follow your boy on Twitter. The handle is in the description. If you haven't followed the Facebook yet, if you have Facebook, the Facebook link is in the description. And if you can, please subscribe to the channel for your boy. And if you want to donate to the stream to help the cause, go ahead and hit up my PayPal. The link is in the description. Let's go ahead and get into the news of the day that broke social media this morning on Twitter. And it was supposedly reported that Sean Payton has decided that Taysom Hill was going to be the starter for the New Orleans Saints against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if that was true, which apparently it's not, I'll get into that in a little bit. That is shocking. That is shocking to hear. We have Tara here. How you doing, Tara? Good to see you here. Got big old Jerry Poor. What's going on with you, my man? And last but not least, we have Timothy. Thank you guys for being here. Now, as I was saying about this Taysom Hill news that broke out earlier this morning, that's shocking to even think that Sean Payton would consider Taysom Hill as a starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. We have Jameis Winston, who is a proven starter of, I'd say, 4, 5, maybe even 6 years. Given, he had 30 interceptions. He also had 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. Now, eventually, you're going to have to find out what you have in Taysom Hill because you've given him a 3-year extension of over $21 million. Either it's $21 million or $20 million. I had to run my numbers back. But to even consider Taysom Hill, you had to wonder what Sean Payton is thinking. He is a mastermind of the offense. He knows what kind of weapons he have. But you're trying to win the division. They're half of the game behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know. I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for seeing what Taysom Hill as a quarterback provides to the Saints offense, provided that's the route they go. Because during the Saints interview earlier this afternoon, Sean Payton commented and chimed in that he and the team did not, I repeat, he did not name a starting quarterback for this Sunday. Now, I like this move by Sean Payton. We all know how petty Sean Payton can be. I call him Petty Payton for a reason. Petty Payton, and I love it. But this is a very smart play by Sean Payton because the opposing team, the Atlanta Falcons, has the game plan for both quarterbacks. Not only that, it keeps everybody else on their toes. It keeps the defense of the Atlanta Falcons honest. Defensive coordinators trying to figure out what kind of packages to run against either quarterback. So we're just going to have to mind our business and wait until Sunday. And speaking of Sunday, we have the final injury report for the Saints. I'll go ahead and pull it up for you guys right now. Let's go ahead and get into this injury report. It's actually a lot better considering what the team went through this past Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. Here we have Cameron Jordan, Traquan Smith, Ryan Ramczyk, Malcolm Brown, and Alvin Kamara. They were all listed as full participants today. Now, the one that stood out to me most was wide receiver Traquan Smith, who went down from a nasty elbow hit to his head. The fact that he managed to clear concussion protocol and is ready to go for Sunday, that is a testament to how tough this dude really is. He's been playing really well this season. We already know how good he is in a blocking game, but he's coming alive. It may not be like as impactful, but he's there when you need him to make a play. So shouts out to Traquan Smith, man. You're a one tough dude. I at least for this game. I probably would have been back for the Denver game. Marshawn Lattimore, is listed as questionable to play with a abdomen injury. If you haven't caught up already, in case you missed it, Marshon Lattimore went down to an abdomen injury Week 9 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He landed on the back heel of Antonio Brown after he caught a slant route that went for 11 yards. He's been battling through that ever since. He went out last week against the San Francisco 49ers through that same injury. So there's a lot of there's some, I wouldn't say a lot of, but there is some concern there with Marshon Lattimore, because if he's not good to go, he's not even close to being 100%. Then Julio Jones is going to have a field day against the Saints secondary if they don't play up to their potential. Jerry Porter says thoughts on Taysom Hill. I think Taysom Hill is going to do just as fine as Jameis Winston would do. Granted, Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston have different skill sets, but knowing Sean Payton and the type of offensive genius he is, I'm pretty sure he's staying up many a night coming up with a game plan for his quarterback of choice. He could even go as far as mix in both during the game. We don't know. We won't know until Sunday. But a lot of people are bringing up the fact that Taysom Hill hasn't had a full game starting. He hasn't started at all. He hasn't thrown out of passes. And yet there is some concern with the fact that during the times he has been in drives and it has an opportunity to throw down the field, he's missed a lot of open looks. There was a streak route to Jared Cook that he took a sack on. There was a deep end route over the middle of the field to Emmanuel Sanders he missed on. He took a sack there. But that can easily be corrected if he has enough snaps and he has enough experience in the Saints offense as an actual quarterback. We won't know. And we're not going to know if we don't give him that opportunity. So Taysom Hill does end up being the starter for the New Orleans Saints this Sunday. It's going to be a very interesting game. And if he actually manages to put up an impressive performance, a lot of people are going to be eating crows. I won't hold Taysom Hill accountable. I won't say he's going to do bad because we don't, like I said, we don't know what he provides as a starting quarterback yet. And until we do, I say at least 2, maybe 3 consecutive times, I'm going to hold off my judgment. It's only fair until we see what he can do. Otherwise, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are going to be eating crows. Now, speaking of why, that brings the question, why won't, if he does end up being the starter, what is going on with Jameis Winston and why was he not chosen over Taysom Hill? Considering what Teddy Bridgewater managed to do to end up starting over Taysom Hill last season, what makes this situation different? It begs the question, does Jameis Winston still not grasp the type of offense Sean Payton wants to run? We don't know yet. Now, in terms of my predictions for this game, I have the New Orleans Saints winning 24-17 with 2 turnovers. Whether those turnovers come from Taysom Hill fumbling the snap or Jameis Winston coming in and throwing an interception, maybe even a fumble, don't know. All I know is those 2 turnovers are going to be happening, at least from what I understand, because the Atlanta Falcons, although they're coming off 2 fluke wins against 2 terrible defenses, the fact of the matter is that team is on a 2-game winning streak, and they went into it with a bye. They're coming off healthy. They're coming off aggressive against their arch nemesis. It's going to be a very, very tight game, tighter than most people think, especially given the questions surrounding the quarterback position. Jerry Porter says, I think we'll be okay on Sunday. I can agree with that. I think we're also going to be okay. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and link this to all my callers, all my listeners. If you want to come in and give your thoughts, feel free. We still have much more to discuss. And speaking of, we're going to go back to Marshon Lattimore's abdomen injury, and it begs the question, is Julio Jones going to have this big game? Because we have to look at who Marshon Lattimore's backup is, and that's Patrick Robinson. Now, granted, Patrick Robinson is no slouch. He can actually cover pretty well. He can cover tight ends. He can cover out in the island, as we've seen from the interception he took away to save the game for the Saints to give a comfortable 27-13 lead. He is no slouch, but I don't know if he'll be able to handle a type of player like Julio Jones, one of the best all time. I just wish Julio Jones was on a better team because his time is being wasted, but it is what it is. But with Marshawn Lattimore potentially being out, if he doesn't go, what will Dennis Allen do to make Patrick Robinson's time covering Julio Jones more comfortable? Will he stick Marcus Williams on double coverage over the middle to give him some safety help? Will Patrick Robinson be able to step up to the task? There's a lot going on, and not the fact that Calvin Ridley is said he's listed as no injury designations. He's ready to go. So the 1-2 combo of Ridley and Julio Jones is going to be in this game. That is a scary thought, considering that Matt Ryan is one of the leading passing yards leaders so far in the 2020 season. We're going to go ahead and take our first caller for tonight. It is the one, the only, Jerry Poor. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, Davis? Who that to you, my friend?
Who that, my man? We're talking about the Saints secondary and the potential of Marshawn Lattimore being out with a abdomen injury he sustained in Week 9. If he's not able to go, what kind of game plan do you think Dennis Allen and the Saints defense will have to make sure Julio Jones isn't a threat?
Well, with hopefully Lattimore not playing on Sunday, I say Jack Rabbit could take that role and defend Julio Jones, either him or Patrick Robinson.
Yeah, speaking of Patrick Robinson, I was chiming in on the fact that Patrick Robinson is no slouch. He's come away with 2 end zone interceptions so far this season. One against out in the island to save the game for the Saints, have a comfortable 27-13 win. But there is some question of concern for me is, can he step up to the plate and cover and one of the all-time great receivers in Julio Jones?
I'm going to say yes on this. I will say yes on this.
Okay. Now, what are your thoughts and predictions for this game? I have the Saints 24-17 with 2 turnovers. I think the offense is going to be a little slow because we don't know what type of production we'll see out of quarterback. And if Taysom Hill does end up getting that start, there has been some players that have voiced that they're comfortable with Taysom Hill, such as Deontay Harris and Emmanuel Sanders, but we don't know the full chemistry of either quarterback. So what's your final predictions for this game, my man?
Well, before I give my prediction, I want to address about this because my thought was that we talked about it last night with CB and the guys, and I talked to you Wednesday night about possible Jameis Winston getting the starting job at quarterback this Sunday, and we were talking about what he does, especially with the deep ball he got, with that good arm he got. That's my thought process. Before I left the house earlier today, it was saying breaking news that Taysom Hill is starting quarterback on Sunday. And I say, wait a minute now. We just talked about that the other day. I mean, you mean to tell me Sean Payton is going to go with Hill and not Winston? Well, I guess you could say yes because when Breeze was the first string, Hill was the second string, and Winston was the third string. So now with Breeze being out, he's going to take that role, and Winston's going to take the second string. So I guess we just have to see what's what in the next maybe 3 or 4 weeks, just to give it a try. But my prediction for this game, Davis, is Saints 35, Falcons 14.
35-14. Okay.
That's my
I can understand. I respect that. Hey, man, I appreciate you calling in always. You're always welcome here in the State of Black and Gold podcast. You be easy, bro. We still got a lot to get into.
Just give it a try.
Absolutely, man. Just give it a try. I appreciate you calling in, Jerry. We still got a lot to talk about, so hopefully you'll stick around for a little bit. As for everybody else who is just now tuning in, news came out earlier that Sean Payton has not decided on who's going to be the starting quarterback for this Sunday. Some say, like Mr. Willis here, hopefully Taysom does well. I hope he does well too if he gets that starting position, man. I really hope he does. I think this would be a good test. It'll be a great big opportunity to lead this. See if we actually have a future with Taysom Hill. And Mr. Brett North said, "I'm sure Jameis would have started if there was a crowd." Honestly, I can see it, but even then, I'm not too sure. Even if there was a crowd, I don't know if Jameis would be able to thrive underneath that. Or even if he does, I still don't think that Sean Payton would have chosen him if he's even like even remotely considering Taysom Hill at this juncture. I feel like there's something going on at practice that Jameis Winston isn't showing that's giving Sean Payton any kind of confidence. Or maybe he is. Like I said, we don't know what Petty Payton is doing right now. We don't know what Petty Payton is doing, and that's good. That's good for us. It's bad for the Falcons. So we'll just have to wait and see what goes on for Sunday. To rehash the injuries for everybody that's just tuning in, we have Traquan Smith.
Davis. I just want to.
Yes, go ahead.
We do.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Now you said we got Traquan Smith back, so that's a good. Yeah, you were saying about Traquan Smith. I see he's back in the lineup, so I'm glad he's doing better.
Yeah, man. I mean, that dude is he is a tough dude. He is an absolutely tough dude. He took a nasty elbow shot for those who didn't catch the injury. He took a nasty elbow shot from Ward, and he was in the concussion protocol. The fact he managed to clear it within a week, that speaks to the fortitude of this man. And he's showing a lot of heart. Now, as far as the rest of this injury list goes for everybody, we have Cameron Jordan, Ryan Ramczyk, Malcolm Brown, and Alvin Kamara listed as full participants. Full participants. So the foot injury for Alvin Kamara is not an issue. The back injury for Cameron Jordan is not an issue. The knee injury for Ryan Ramczyk is not an issue. So we have our offensive line coming in fully healthy. We have our defensive line coming in, I'd say, fully healthy, minus obviously shoulder records being placed on IR. The one thing I will highlight, who have had a lot of issues with this man prior to him coming back, Marcus Davenport does not have another injury destination this week. The man's maintaining his health so far. I think this would be his either his fifth or sixth game back from injury. A little fun fact. Ever since Marcus Davenport has came back into the lineup, the Saints have been number one and generated pressure. Since Marcus Davenport has come back, it's been a total of 125 pressures. Add in a little more from the Sunday's game, there are easily over 130 pressures. That's leading first in the NFL. This is the Davenport effect, and this is why Sean Payton and his front office were so high on him and traded away 2 firsts. So big shout out to Marcus Davenport and giving this defensive line a much needed spark. Quan Alexander is going to be presumably starting this game as well over Alexander Loney. We know what Quan Alexander brings to the table from his debut against the 49ers. He accounted for 2 missed tackles. We also accounted for 3 tackles for losses. So, and he's giving Mike Demario Davis a much needed edge, a much needed spark. The chemistry between those two is just growing by the day. Meanwhile, the 49ers got fleeced because linebacker Kiko Alonso remains on the PUP list for the 49ers. So, Saints possibly get a linebacker for the future, while the 49ers are stuck with another injured player. Morpheus Loomis strikes again. What I have next on this list. Your thoughts on that, Jerry?
Hey, you said what you had to be said, bro. I just want to give you my feedback on what we're gonna witness on Sunday. That's all. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and continue, man. But I'll still be on the chat, give you some more of my thoughts for Sunday.
I appreciate you calling in, Jerry. Who that, brother?
And who that to you, brother? Take care.
That's Jerry. Yeah, it's Jerry Poor, everybody. Knowledgeable guy, a passionate guy. If you guys haven't gone into his little circle of contacts, y'all need to go up. He loves all things Saints. Now, with that said, personally, if I was to name a starting quarterback, I'd probably go. The logical sense would be Jameis Winston, but my heart would say Taysom Hill, especially for this game. I mean, when you think about it, guys, he at the end of the day, Taysom Hill ended up signing a 3-year, $21 million extension. That's not money you want to sleep on. If you're going to invest in a quarterback like that for the future, you want to eventually see what you have in him. So what better time than now to see what Taysom Hill can provide for the quarterback position? And if he does do well, that's just great. And if not, you still have Taysom Hill for those Mr. Do-It-All Swiss Army knife roles at the tight end, receiver, and special teams. So for me, this is a low-risk, high-reward situation. Some people have commented already saying that this would have started. He was a crowd from Brett Norris. Hopefully Taysom Hill does well from Mr. Realist. But like I said, if anybody needs the link for coming in, calling in, go ahead, give your thoughts and your predictions. I think the Saints team is going to win, but by a nail-biter. There's just too much for me to really say the Saints are going to win comfortably. And the Atlanta team is coming off a 2-game win streak, and they're coming in healthy. I don't know, man. This has the smell of a trap game all over it. Will Sean Payton be able to dial it up and keep this offensive Saints team flowing like they should be? We don't know. I hope the answer is yes, but at the same time, I don't think this Atlanta team is going to be anything too threatening. I think we're more so going to beat ourselves, trying to figure out what type of quarterbacks we got, more so than an Atlanta team trying to beat us. Because I don't think this Atlanta team is any good. Yeah, they're 2-1 under Raheem Morris, but look who they played. They played terrible defenses. I mean, they're at the bottom of the league. The Atlanta defense is 31st against the pass. Yeah, they're better against the run, but they're 31st against the pass. And we have a quarterback like Jameis Winston. We have a quarterback like Taysom Hill who can use these opportunities against this horrible passing defense of the Atlanta Falcons to really make a statement that they are starter material in this league. On top of that, I just don't trust that Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and all that, and the the Falcons offense can withstand the versatility and the strength of the Saints defensive front seven. From Marcus Davenport all the way up to Quan Alexander. Demario Davis probably going to get 2 sacks. Cam Jordan's probably going to get his first, not his first, but he's probably going to get his other sack, probably 2 sacks on the game. This Atlanta offense has been struggling against the Saints defense for a long time, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Now, with that said, anybody else want to give a call, feel free. This is going to be an interesting game. It's just enough, everybody. Let's go ahead and read up the chat here and make sure I didn't miss anything. Got Tara here. Got Timothy. Make sure I didn't miss nothing. Let me go ahead and repost this for people who haven't, who are just coming in. There you go. But as far as let's talk stats. Let's talk stats for a second. I think as far as stats go, let's say Jameis Winston plays, right? I think Jameis Winston is going to come away with 17 of 24 with a $120, with a $122, and maybe 2 touchdowns. 17-24, a 222, maybe buck or so, 2 touchdowns. As far as Taysom Hill, I say 16 out of 30, 250 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. And he has 3 rushes for 54 yards. Those are my stats for those 2 quarterbacks. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have another good game. He's going to come away with at least a touchdown to finally break the curse. Did y'all know that since coming into the league and playing against the Atlanta Falcons, Alvin Kamara does not have a touchdown against them? He does not have a touchdown against these guys. That's crazy. Deion Jones has had his number. Let's hope Alvin Kamara can finally break that curse. Because if he can break that curse, that's going to be very dangerous 2 weeks from now when we have to play them in Atlanta's own stadium. But I'm getting ahead of myself. That's not until 2 weeks from now. We're talking about today. And my concern right now is Jared Cook. With Josh Hill being now, it's going to be more pressure for Jared Cook to step up and be a run blocker to help this Saints offense maintain some type of ground game. And Jared Cook's been having an iffy season. Yeah, he's caught some deep balls. Yeah, he's caught maybe a touchdown or two. But overall, Jared Cook just hasn't been like himself. Around this time last year, Jared Cook was turning it on. So maybe he'll turn it on in this game. But if not, we have to see if Alan Troutman can repeat the success he had against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 9 against the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday. Because Alan Troutman is going to be a run stopper, run blocker for sure. But can he open up the field for the passing game? And I've been hoping to see more of that, because this man was a force to be reckoned with when he was playing in Dayton. Now you can argue that Dayton was part of a small college, like small division type of thing, but you can't deny this guy's physicality, his ability to go up and high point the ball. 14 touchdowns to break the college record. That's nothing to sneeze at, even if you are from Dayton. So I hope to see more of Alan Troutman in this game. I hope to see Jared Cook have a resurgence of a performance. I hope Cesar Ruiz doesn't fall backwards in terms of his production on the offensive line, just because he gave up a sack that just re-aggravated an injury to Drew Brees. Because, and I'm going to receive a lot of heat for this from some people, I know, but I don't really blame Cesar Ruiz for the fact that he's been doing good in over 400 plus snaps. And the fact that he's a rookie, you're going to give up a sack every now and again. Ask Ryan Ramczyk, ask Andrew Speed before he finally got good, ask Teron Armstead. Sometimes even the best get beat. Secondly, Drew Brees had no business playing that game. He had no business playing that game. When you're going into a game and you sustain cracked ribs from over a 2-week period, look who you played in the final two, in those 2 weeks, in that 2-week stretch prior to the 49ers. You played the Bears and you played the 49ers. You played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When you played the Bears and the Bucks, you did, and you have cracked ribs, you need to worry more about long term instead of trying to prove a point and probably maintain the all-time touchdown passes record over Tom Brady. That doesn't matter. You're trying to get into the postseason. You need to be taking care of your body. You just all but guaranteed yourself a retirement come next offseason. I don't understand what Drew Brees was thinking there. Yes, it has a lot of heart. Yes, we can commend it, and I respect it out of Drew Brees. But logically, you need to take care of your body, and you need to put the team first over yourself. There's no business for you being in that game. And now look at you. You're on the IR list. Yes, Drew Brees has been reported to be placed on IR, and I can't say enough to how smart and good of a decision that is. You need to protect Drew Brees from himself. That guy is too competitive, but sometimes it's to a fault. Okay, the postseason is what you're aiming for. You're not trying to aim for a retirement probably earlier than what you're ready for. Now, as far as what Cam Jordan is going to do, like I said, I think Cam Jordan's going to have 2 sacks. But Cam Jordan has been overall quiet. And you can't have a quiet game against your most hated arch nemesis, the Atlanta Falcons. Can Cam Jordan provide those 2 sacks? Like I said, I know he will. Most likely he will, but at the same time, I'm kind of disappointed in Cam Jordan overall. When you're coming off a career-high 15.5 sacks, and you're getting outbeat by Trey Henderson. Now, granted, Trey Henderson is nothing to sneeze at. He's having a breakout year. But when you're coming off 15.5 sacks from last season, and you're having this type of performance so far, Marcus Davenport was out 4 games, and he's already showing to be playing at a higher level than you. Like, Cam Jordan, you need to step your game up. There's absolute levels to this, and hopefully you'll hit your stride and find these levels. But as far as what I'm most impressed with the Saints defense, one is the secondary, obviously. They're not giving up the deep balls in 3 weeks. They come away with 4 INTs in over 2 games. Hopefully they'll add on to that. Sorry, over 5 INTs. I'm sorry. But the person I'm most impressed with is David Onyemata. David Onyemata is a beast. He is eating. He is demolishing the interior of offensive lines. That is scary. A 4th and 1, and you get back there and you stuff him behind the line of scrimmage for 2 yards. That's just a testament. David Onyemata is like so far my Saints defensive player of the year. David Onyemata is my Saints defensive player of the year. Okay, and so far it's not even close. It's not even close. The next person up would be Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams has been improving over the last 3 weeks. He's nearly come away with 3 INTs on the year. He should have 4, but he dropped one last week against the 49ers. It is what it is. But I believe that Williams is having a lot of improvement. And I think he's really showing that he wants to play for New Orleans in the future. He wants that contract extension. And if he comes away with another INT and another 5+ tackle game performance, I think he's going to really solidify that Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis needs to look at him for an extension. I wouldn't say no more than probably a 2-year extension, maybe. 2-year, maybe, or $9 million. If Kwon Alexander is looked at to be coming back and maybe restructure his contract to allow for both, because Morpheus Loomis is going to find a way to keep key players, key impact players. Zach Bond, and when we're speaking about linebackers, Zach Bond had a nasty hit on special teams during the kickoff return. This guy's got speed for days. We need to use Zach Bond like he was using Wisconsin. He can give you that pressure off the edge. He can, but granted, in order to use Zach Bond, we had to go with a 4-3-4 look, and you don't want to take away from what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson provides with pressure off the edge and what he brings in the slot. Okay, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was next to Demario Davis one of the best bright spots on the Saints defense last week, coming away with a sack for his first time in his career. I say 7 total pressures, and all those tackles, man. Come on, that guy is just something different. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, it's tough. It's tough. I don't want to see him pulled out, but maybe have Zach Bond rotate snaps with Kwon Alexander. But with that said, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. Alex Anzalone is in trouble if he doesn't get as many snaps on defense like he did prior to Kwon Alexander showing up. It's going to all but solidify that Alex Anzalone is not going to be here. He's not going to be here next offseason. And I hate it for him, but sometimes it is what it is. But knowing this Saints team, he's probably going to come back, probably on the practice squad. It is what it is. But there's just a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty with this game. What kind of production will we see out of Taysom Hill if he starts? Same thing goes for Jameis Winston if he starts. What kind of game plan will Sean Payton cook up for the offense? Can the Saints defense keep the ball rolling? I hope they can. They've been playing lights out. They're trending in the right direction. So far, the Saints are a top 15 defense. And if they have a good game against the Atlanta Falcons, they could be argued to be one of the top 10 offenses. Now you can argue that someone said that they're the 4th total offense, but we're talking about the Saints Twitter or the Saints fan base. We don't believe they're a top. We don't believe they're a top 5 defense yet. They have to be consistent. They have to make sure not to give up the deep ball to Julio Jones. They're going to give up probably 1 if Marshawn Lattimore is not able to go, maybe 2, but I don't know. That's it. That's all. Man, I'm laughing, but at the same time, I'm a little nervous. But that's it. That's all. Like I said, I apologize for this being short, but that's it for my pregame show. If y'all want to donate to the channel, donation links in the description. Go follow me on Twitter at Real Aaron Davis. Go ahead and follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/State of Black and Gold. And I'll see y'all next time. I'll see y'all Sunday. Sunday we'll be having our post game. I'm hoping to have a guest. I hope. But if not, it is what it is. I'll see y'all next time. And remember, my fellow Hoodads over here, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. I'll see y'all Sunday. Deuces.